Hey guys, SeanB here. Today I want to talk about Shamann and his use in Necro B12. This unit is slowly becoming one of my favorite units, honestly, because of how underrated he is and how OP he is in TOA Hell. One of my favorite content nowadays as well. And he is amazing in Necro B12. Necro Boss is a dark unit, which means he do twice the damage. So this skill can easily do 100,000 damage to the Necro Boss. So that will bring him down by 2/3 or even more of his HP. So whoever do the other 1/3, you can kill the boss pretty much immediately in turn 1. I'm using random rune purely for the crit rate and the crit damage. So attack, crit damage, and attack. The revenge is for the rare chance he can revenge and put one more hit onto the shield. The shield rune is for protection for Astar in the team, which is not too important because skill 1 of Shamann can actually heal, and because he do so much damage to dark unit, he heal Astar all the time, so you don't have to build Vampire Astar. I think it's very ironic to recommend, let's say, Rage when you want to farm Rage in Necro. I know it is also very ironic to recommend people to get God Rune for your Icaru when you want to farm God Rune in Dragon's B12. But I'll try not to do this time, okay? By not recommending Vampire, not recommending Rage. My Icaru are not special. They're not crit damage, they're not determination. They're just simple Icaru on triple defense. You just need to make sure that they have enough speed because you want to outspeed the middle boss so that you can kill him before he take a turn. That saves you a couple seconds, which is important. So all my Icaru are having decent speed, and with a speed lead, they can outspeed the middle boss comfortably. Vampire, in my opinion, is the best way to build a star for this team because you will never die with Vampire runes, and you will not disturb the team turn order as well because this girl gets more speed the moment she drops her HP, which I think is kind of redundant in her skill set. I would love for them to change the attack speed buff to something better, like more damage or something like that. So I'm just running Fatal Broken here, attack with damage and attack. You can run Blade Rune or whatever rune you want to use to try and get her 100% crit rate. I tried out with my Vampire set, which gave much less crit damage and attack, and it doesn't make much of a difference. So this is totally overkilling. You probably have a lot of questions about the team, so I hope I'm answering those questions. Can you not use Astar? Yes, you can use other unit. They work just fine, but they'll be slower because Astar do so much damage that not a lot of unit can replace her well. I put in a Lauren, it makes the team even safer, but of course you'll be going for a slower run. So other unit like homunculus, pandas, those that have multi in their skill 1, so when the doggo team up, then you break the shield very fast. But not a lot of unit can do good damage like Astar. So there are even homunculus with like a dot build that can work out as well. But still, Astar damage output is really good. Replacing her will be slowing down your run a little bit, but still gonna work just fine. One of the worst thing about this team is Shamann AI. If Shamann use skill 2 all the time, then this team will be consistently below 40 seconds easily. Because skill 2 of Shamann can just dominate the mid boss and the final boss very easily. But the AI of this bird will hinder the potential of this team. Unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Another question. Can you replace any Icaru rogue? I've tried using one rogue replacing one Icaru. It is gonna be very similar in terms of runtime, but the consistency will drop because I think the team up with rogue is not as good, and the consistency in terms of getting cooldown reduction for the other Icaru, and let's say getting the multi-hit from Astar to break shield, it is just not as consistent. Also, the Icaru can revenge and break shield very consistently. So having a rogue there means a less team up and also no revenge. If you want to do the team without Shamann, your Astar has to be on Vampire because it is very easy for her to just die to her own reflect damage because of how much damage you can do on the golems. So without the bird right there, you need to have Astar on vampire. But with the bird, you can run Astar on whatever you want. If you have more shield rune, that'll be pretty amazing to keep her alive. Another question, why am I farming Necro and not dragons? I do need upgrade to my will runes. I have farmed dragon for a very long time, and will rune is what I don't have a lot of. So I need much more will runes, and farming Illunia alone is definitely not enough to get a more healthy pool of will runes. Also, vampire runes are great for Miho, or Garo, or Leo, or my Laika that might come, I don't even know. But vampire runes are good on some damage dealer as well. And Rage Rune is always good for your damage dealer for PvE or PvP. Destroy, don't really care about that. Nemesis is great, not too bad. And when you farm Illunia, you get Nemesis as well. So it's kind of help out with the Ancient Rune combination too. Did that make sense? I think that makes sense. So the runes from Necro are great, and I do need more runes from Necro because I've farmed so much dragons and I need to upgrade will runes, and that is probably the most important thing. Oh, 43 seconds. Would you look at that? Man, lovely. Whew, 22 speed crit damage rune is not bad, but man, this one look like shit. Another question. Can you throw in a Lucian here and maybe put a star there or the bird there? You can definitely throw in a Lucian, but the requirement for Lucian to one-shot wave in B12 dungeon is pretty rough, and you need good speed as well to outspeed the trash wave. Not really a fan of that, and also you can't really rely on Lucian AI to work all the time. In the boss stage, Lucian will be a liability. He doesn't really do anything, so wouldn't really want to do that. My fastest time is actually with this team, but 36 seconds. I would say that's pretty solid as a fastest time for this team without a Lucian, so I think that is pretty good. So wouldn't really care about putting a Lucian in. It's already really fast. This will burn crystal faster than even the Dragons team, because sometimes you have a run that is like 30 something seconds, and that is like incredible. So I wouldn't bother with a Lucian. Man, the more I play with Shamann, the light bird, the more I love him. He used to be like garbage. If you look into the review of this unit, like the peer review system, you will rarely find a good comment about him. Maybe once in a while you see a comment that say he's good for Necro, but in the front page in Asia server for this unit, I can't even find a good build Shamann. And right now to me, he's like A tier for Second Awakening because of TOA Hell and how good he is in that content. And he's amazing in Necro B12 as well. Sadly, not very good in other places, but okay, if you need a tank for Miho and Shina Martina and Siege, he's a very good tank as well. But if you build him that way, you cannot really use him in Necro or in TOA Hell. In TOA Hell, I need him to be really fast, so you can't really be too tanky and fast at the same time. In here, he doesn't need the most attack, so maybe if you're done with TOA Hell, you can bring him back to be like HP good damage defense and be super tanky, so he can tank Miho and Shina Martina really well in Siege. He has damage reduction against Dark unit, so that is where he comes in and tank really well. This is definitely not like new knowledge to a lot of you guys out there, so might be a rewatch for you. I'm very sorry about that. You probably saw the video from Shay Shizzle or Island Grown, depending on who you watch from. You probably saw this team already, but I haven't built this team at all. So this is just my version of my take on it. I've tried many different combinations with 1 rogue, 2 rogue, 3 rogue. I've tried with all the damage dealer, all the magic knights, and all the multi-hitter. But this is my final version for this team. I think this is the most consistent and the best team, the safest as well. There's no way I'll lose ever, thanks to the healing from the bird, and the damage output of these units are just incredible. So very safe, super fast, and I'm really happy with this team. I really hope somehow Shamann AI can be perfect so I can have fast run all the time, because sometimes he can spam skill 1 like 3 times in a row and the run become really slow, like a minute, which is like, ew, Necro B12 in a minute. Ugh. So that was my Necro B12 showcase. I hope that it was fun to watch and helpful to you guys out there. If you enjoyed the video, smash like, leave a comment down below if you have any question, and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.